organized by Amity Institute of Applied Sciences, Amity Institute of Food Technology, Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Amity Institute of Forensic Sciences, Amity Institute of Nanotechnology, Amity Institute of Biotechnology, Amity Institute of Click Chemistry Research and Studies, Amity Institute of Neuropsychology and Neurosciences, Amity University, Noida, Uttar Pradesh. This year, the theme of the event is Empowering Indian Youth for Global Leadership in Science and Innovation for Viksit Bharat. We are honored to have with us our guests, Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPL DRDO, Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director, General NIC, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President, International Affairs, INSA. We are delighted to have with us our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, Professor Balvinder Shukla ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Chandradeep Tandon, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean Biosciences and Biotechnology, Amity University, Noida, Dr. Selva-Murthy sir, President, Amity Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, Professor Sunita Ratan ma'am, Dean Science and Technology Director, AIS, and Dr. B.K. Mathur. To make an auspicious beginning, let us start this event by lighting the lamp while chanting of Saraswati Vandana for the blessings of the Almighty. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to please proceed for lighting the lamp.
हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
Goddess Saraswati is a symbol of knowledge, music, art, wisdom, and nature. May the divine power bless us all.
I need a pen drive. Pen drive, I can put it in.
If you don't have the pen drive, we can mail and download it. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Thank you, sir and ma'am. To extend the warm welcome, I would like to request Professor Sunita Ratan ma'am, and Dr. B.K. Murthy sir to present sapling to our chief guest, Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President, International Affairs, INSA. Now, I would like to request Sir and Ma'am to present a sapling to our guest of honor, Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Now, I would like to request Dr. Chandradeep Tandon sir to present a sapling to guest of honor, Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPL DRDO. Now, I would like to request Professor Sunita Ratan ma'am, Dean Science and Technology Director, Amity Institute of Applied Sciences, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you very much. I would like that all the students who are standing may please take your seats. Yeah. So thank you very much. Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam Professor Balwinder Shukla, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, our Chief Guest Dr. N.K. Mehta, Vice President International Affairs, INSA, our Guest of Honor Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPR DRDO, Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Dr. Chandradeep Tandon, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean, Biosciences and Biotechnology, Amity University, Noida, HOIs of various institutions, dignitaries, faculty members, and their students. It's a proud privilege to welcome you all to the celebrations of the National Science Day. I think you should be very, very enthusiastic about it because all of you are science students and this is your day. On this auspicious occasion of National Science Day, we celebrate the remarkable achievements of India's science and technology. This day commemorates the discovery of the Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman in 1928, a pioneering contribution that brought India to the forefront of scientific research. National Science Day, as you all know, is observed on February 28th every year across the country to mark this and celebrate the contributions or continuous contributions of scientists towards the development of India. Science is not just a subject, it's a way of thinking, a process of discovery that has the power to transform the world. We all are aware that this year the theme of National Science Day is Empowering Indian Youth for Global Leadership in Science and Innovation for Viksit Bharat. Today at Amity University, we are here to discuss a crucial aspect of empowering our Indian youth, our Indian youth, so that you can propel India towards becoming a Viksit Bharat, a developed nation. Science has been the backbone of India's progress. From Aryabhatta's contribution to astronomy to ISRO's Chandrayaan and Gaganyaan missions, our scientific achievements have positioned India as a global leader in space technology, pharmaceuticals, and digital innovations. However, the real question is, What's next? The answer lies in the hands of our Indian youth, you, us, the students, researchers, and innovators of today. Empowerment. How can we empower our youth? Actually, this empowerment comes from education, research opportunities, and a robust ecosystem that nurtures creativity and critical thinking. A developed India will be the one that not only excels in science, but also ensures that scientific research should be directed towards solving challenges of Viksit Bharat, of Bharat, like climate change, rural healthcare, food security, clean energy. Young scientists must focus on affordable and scalable innovations that improve the quality of life for every Indian while also setting benchmarks in the global market. That is the theme of this National Science Day. The innovation potential of Indian youth is not confined to urban. I'm not only talking about urban youth. It is the rural youth also, because rural youth also demonstrate remarkable creativity and problem solving abilities. Their innovations often stem from necessity, resource constraints, deep rooted knowledge of local challenges, frugal innovation, jugaad technology. The cost effective solutions using locally available resources are amazing examples. For example, mitti cool refrigerator, low cost water pumps, drones for farming, organic farming techniques, bike powered washing machine. It all tells about their capability. Though they do not have that infrastructure, which is urban youth has got that, but still they have those minds. They have got those innovative minds. The innovation capabilities of rural youth in India are vast and impactful, and hence government must do to empower that youth also. On national front, when I say India has remarkable scientific contributions that have recognized globally through empowering its students. Today, Indian scientists and researchers are at the forefront. They are creating waves at the global arena also. Chandrayaan 3 mission, Gaganyaan mission, COVID-19 vaccine development, quantum computing research, green hydrogen mission, all tell about the story of the successful stories of our Indian scientists. So these breakthroughs are a testament to India's growing influence in the global scientific community. However, much needs to be done yet. There are a number of key areas where our youth can play a transformative role. Right from advanced technologies like AI, ML, to the innovations through its traditional knowledge in health sector, like Ayush is doing a very good job. Our traditional therapists are doing very good job, and they are actually being circulated globally. So by integrating modern technology with our traditional technologies, we can develop innovative solutions for all sections of the society. So in conclusion, the journey towards a Viksit Bharat must be guided by the principles of innovation, sustainability, and inclusivity. Let us empower the youth who innovate the technologies to build a prosperous and self-reliant India for future generations. We are immensely thankful to all the institutions who are organizing the events today. Our Faculty of Engineering, Technology, Science and Technology, Faculty of Biotechnology and Biosciences, all have joined hands to celebrate this great day, National Science Day 2025, through conducting expert lectures, panel discussions, student-oriented events. The participating institutions are AIAS, AIFT, AIFS, AINT, AIB, AINN, AIES, and AICCRS. I take this opportunity to extend our heartiest and profound thanks to our revered founder, President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, for his enormous encouragement for these type of events. We are deeply grateful to Dr. Balwinder Shukla, Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am, for her guidance and directions, and Dr. Selva Murthy Sir, who always extend unconditional support for these type of events. I'm also grateful to Dr. B.K. Murthy, Dr. A.K. Singh, and Dr. Neeraj Singh for helping us arrange the distinguished speakers. On this National Science Day, let us reiterate our dedication to nurturing a culture of scientific inquiry and innovation. As teachers and scientists, may we ignite the passion for discovery in the upcoming generation of scientists and engineers, urging them to challenge the limits of knowledge and shape a brighter future for humanity. Wish you all a happy National Science Day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us an insightful introduction on our theme.
It's always been a pleasure to hear from you. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Chandradeep Tandon, Additional Pro VC, Dean, Biosciences and Biotechnology, Amity University, Noida. Dr. Tandon has served as Dean, Faculty of Sciences, Amity University, Punjab, Mohali. He has successfully completed 9 research projects funded by DBT, ICMR, DST. He has published approximately 100 peer-reviewed research papers in international and national journals of repute.
Thank you so much and good morning to all. On behalf of most revered founder president sir Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, our Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan, respected Vice Chancellor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, I welcome Dr. Mehra. Dr. Mehra is very known figure here in Amity and is a great friend. He has lots of contributions he has made to Amity University, the whole group. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Sheetal Garg, the scientist G SSPL to Amity University portals. I also welcome Dr. Khanna, who is a Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics and IT. And a very warm welcome to all HOIs, all deans, esteemed faculty members, students, scholars to very important, very significant National Science Day. Well, we all know what is the genesis of National Science Day. Way back in 1928, on 28th of February, as Dr. Sunita also spoke, Dr. Sir C.V. Raman discovered Raman effect. He discovered it in 1928, but bagged Nobel Prize in 1930. So that has put our country on the world map when it comes to science and technology. Today, when I'm talking to you, lots of you are on your mobile phones. This just shows the importance of science. Science today is the epicenter of engineering and technology. I guess everyone will agree with me. Well, God created science, but scientific processes, the phenomena were discovered by human beings, by the scientists. So I still know, we all know, you'll agree with me that there must be lots of discoveries which are still yet to be deciphered, yet to be unraveled. And the day is not far when our scientists, the young scientists sitting in front of me, will definitely be making a contribution and leading us to Viksit Bharat. Students, I must say, you are the future scientists, engineers, innovators of our country. Even if students are not from scientific field, they are using scientific discoveries and inventions in their everyday life. I need not repeat it. You get up in the morning and scientific processes starts. Whether this alarm is a clock or the power or the AC or the blower, whatever you call it, everything stems from science. Today I'm talking to you on this mic. This is nothing but this is also a technology based on the scientific phenomena and principles. So having said that, as we celebrate National Science Day, let us remember the power of science to transform our lives and our world. Let us also remember the responsibility that comes with this power to use the science for the betterment of society, to protect our planet. This is very important. We should try to, use the harness the ability of the science in a better ways to protect our planet and to ensure a sustainable future for all, aiming towards Viksit Bharat, which is the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji. With that, I welcome you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. It is with great honor that I may now introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ma'am, Professor Balwinder Shukla. Ma'am, not only is she an academician, as a professor of entrepreneurship, leadership, and IT, she has great interest in every field of research and is an excellent administrator. She has received many honors and awards and has contributed a lot towards making Amity what it is today. She has been the motivation and guide behind the organizing this event. We are so glad ma'am, that you are a part of this occasion, and we now invite you to address the session. Now, I would like to request Professor Balwinder Shukla, ma'am, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am, to address the gathering.
Yeah. Very good morning, Honorable Founder President, very good morning, Honorable Founder President, Honorable Chancellor, my esteemed colleagues, our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Sheetal Garg, Dr. Seema Khannaji, and our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President International Affairs, INSA. First of all, I, on behalf of our Honorable Founder President, Honorable Chancellor, and on my personal behalf and all behalf of all the deans, head of institution, extend a very warm welcome to our honorable chief guest, Dr. N.K. Mehraji, also to our esteemed guest of honors, to this very important celebration, National Science Day celebration, on the theme Empowering Indian Youth for Global Leadership in Science and Innovation for the Viksit Bharat. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizing team choosing this wonderful theme for the National Science Day. And this day, as Dr. Sunita Ratan and Dr. Chandradeep Tandon were sharing, this day commemorates the extraordinary achievements of Indian scientists, particularly the pioneering work of Sir C.V. Ramanji, who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics way back in 1930 for his discovery of the Raman effect. Sir Raman's contribution continued to inspire generations of research, innovators, and thinkers today, not only India but world over, and we are here to celebrate this legacy. We have the great scientists in our country who have immensely contributed the like Dr. C.V. Ramanji, Dr. Satyendra Nath Boseji, who advanced quantum mechanics, Dr. Homi J. Bhabhaji laid the foundation of India's nuclear program. Dr. Vikram Sarabhaiji was instrumental in establishing India's space ambition through ISRO, and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan's work in agriculture transformed the food security, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji led India's missile and space program. Dr. C.N. Rao and the Dr. Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar made groundbreaking contribution, while Dr. S.R. Srinivas Vardhan revolutionized the probability theory. There are a number of scientists, this is just I've named a few one. These scientists' legacy continue to inspire innovation and excellence, propelling the India towards its growth and recognition all over the world. I congratulate organizing committee led by Dr. Sunita Ratan for organizing this important celebration at Amity, having several concurrent sessions post this inaugural session involving all the science and technology domain institutions. Objective is to how to inspire and motivate the today's youth and who can contribute to the nation building and making the India the Viksit Bharat through research innovation. And as per the vision document of Viksit Bharat, where the huge emphasis is on innovation, on research, on startups. And these are the three most important pillars which will make India self-reliant. Our honorable founder president, way back when the first higher education institution was established, he at that time announced that India will be superpower by 2030, and since then he has been working relentlessly, inspiring and motivating his team to work for the nation building. And Amity has achieved many accolades for the research and innovation, whether it is um, from the SOCHM or from CII or from Ministry of Commerce, where the Amity has got the publication of the filing the highest patents, commercializing those patents, and also bringing the Amity's vision is rooted in the fostering the global excellence and creating future leaders who can shape the future of India and the world. We emphasize a lot on the integration of the technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship in the curriculum aimed at providing our students with the tools, skills, and mindsets needed to contribute meaningfully to the nation development and build a community of change makers, just as India aspires to become the global leader in science and technology. In alignment with the nation's goal of a Viksit Bharat, MIT remains committed to producing the next generation of scientists, engineers, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who will spearhead India's development in all sectors, from science, technology to healthcare to and from sustainability to digital transformation. Amity has over 250,000 students, which are taught 400 plus programs by 6,000 plus faculty, scientists in all our 12 universities across the country, 150 institutions, 16 global campuses, and 28 schools and preschools. With over 400 such projects from leading government and private sectors, our faculty is known worldwide for their research. Today's event is one of our efforts in this direction. We are indeed thankful to our esteemed guest, the distinguished personality, Dr. Sheetal Gargji, Dr. Seema Khanna both of whom have made remarkable contribution to the field of defense and technologies, and Dr. N.K. Mehraji, who have played an instrumental role in fostering international collaboration in science and research through his work at INSA. This year's theme for the National Day is Future of Science, Technology and Innovation in India, a vision for 2047. And it resonates deeply with the Amity University's vision of nurturing future leaders, scientists, and innovators who can contribute to a brighter, more sustainable world. As we step into the future where technology is evolving at an unprecedented pace, it is vital that we acknowledge the role of science and technology in shaping not just the future of our nation but the future of the humanity. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has consistently played a critical role in fostering a culture of innovation, and NIC under Dr. Seema Khanna's leadership is paving the way for a digital revolution in India. Similarly, SSPL DRDO under the leadership of Dr. Sheetal Garg continue to drive India's defense capabilities with cutting edge technology, making us proud of the strides we have made in research and development. At Amity, we understand the importance of collaborations and integration of science, technology, and innovation with education. Our student and research work diligently to advance their knowledge not just within the walls of this institution but also to in conjunction with the global scientific community. We encourage our students to think beyond the boundaries and to contribute to a sustainable future where innovation will lead to us to a new frontiers. Our undergraduate students also are deeply engaged into research and present research papers in various national and international conferences, publish their papers in Scopus Index journals, as well as file the patents, and that show the culture of research and innovation at Amity. I'm confident that through this collective efforts, all the collaborators, we will not only reach the global outline India's vision of 2047, but will also contribute to the global ecosystem where technology and innovation lead the way to the future that is prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable for all. And that's the vision of our Honorable Chancellor, that the youth of amity, youth of nation, will make the change in the world and make this world a better place to live. Once again, I congratulate the organizing team and thank the esteemed guests for gracing the occasion. And we know that it's very difficult to find the time, but we are extremely thankful that you have spared your valuable time, and your contribution will go a long way realizing the vision of India to be the Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you very much, and I wish all the best, the grand success of this National Day's celebration.
Thank you, ma'am. It's always been a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you again for taking time for us. With great pleasure, I would like to now introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPL DRDO. Sir has received his PhD in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Delhi. He has also received his MTech in Thermal Engineering and BTech in Mechanical Engineering. He is an accomplished scientist with over 22 years of expertise in cryogenics and advanced cooling systems, specializing in Joule Thomson cryocoolers and miniature Stirling cryocoolers. He has successfully led the indigenous development of cutting edge cryogenic technologies, positioning India among the world's elite in this field. He has demonstrated excellence in research, project management, technology, innovation, mentorship, and industrial collaboration. Now, I would like to request Dr. Sheetal Garg to please address the gathering.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. Respected dignitaries sitting on the dais, Dr. Sunita Ratan, Dr. Chandardeep Tandon, Dr. Balwinder Shukla, Dr. Seema Khanda, Dr. N.K. Mehra, esteemed faculty of Amity University, and brilliant students. Before starting my presentation, I want to salute Dr. C.V. Raman for his remarkable discovery on Raman effect. So, today I am here to present my journey on challenges, failures, persistence, and ultimate success while developing India's first indigenous self-regulating Joule Thomson cryocooler. It's not only my story, it's a story of India's progress in science and technology. When we talk about the science and technology, it has many milestones like data, information, knowledge, technology, product, and at last, economy. In this life cycle, I am working in the product and commercialization and economy steps. So let's understand what is a Joule Thomson cryocooler. A Joule Thomson cryocooler is basically a cryogenic device. It used to cool a IR detector of missile IR seeker below 90 Kelvin. earlier, what was happening? We were importing this Joule Thomson cryocular from USA or Slovenia, and it was used in the Indian missiles. It was MTCR item. If I say MTCR item, it means the government of that country governed the export of this item. So it was having a restricted supply, and only a few countries having the technology, and we were importing it from USA and Slovenia. And the application of this technology was with respect to Indian missile sector. We were using it in main portable anti-tank guided missile, Nag missile, Adina missile, SO missile, and PDV and NASA missile. So, what was the tipping point? Why for starting this work? When we were importing this cryocular, it was very expensive and came with very restrictions. And what if a country decided to stop supplying this item? So, what is the solution? And why should India, a country that works on missile defense, should depend in foreign nation for these cryoculars? So, what is the solution? The solution is build our own. So, with this intention, we started this the journey of this SRGT cryocular. These were the technical requirements. Cooling capacity 1 watt, temperature stability 0.5 Kelvin, cool down time less than 10 seconds, and it should have a minimal gas consumption. And the technical challenges we were given was it should have a fast cool down time, it should have minimal gas consumption, and it should have a low temperature stability, and fabrication of miniature components. And apart from this, what challenges we faced? There was no ready design was available. But when we started working, there was lack of precision engineering, and there was lack of resources like advanced tools and machines. So this is the geometry of SRGT cryocular. So basically, we can divide this SRGT in 15 to 16 component, and there are two major component is there. First is bellows and other is fin tube. Bellows is used to achieve the self-regulation mechanism, and fin tube works as a heat exchanger in this cryocular. So we started this development, and at first we did the technology demonstration, and with the imported component, there is a fin tube. But then government of India announced that in August 2020 that the indigenization of this SRJT should be done through an industry partner. So with this knowledge, having integration of its orifice JT cryocular, design of JT cryocular, and lot of studies, we started a project with the industry partner. And we divided this whole project in 5 milestones. And while completing the milestone, we were having some failures. The main failures we were facing was the indigenizing of bellows and fin tube. But when I looked the India's scientific heritage, like iron pillar of Delhi, which has not trusted for centuries, then I think we need not to copy the foreign design. We need to innovate in our own way. So we developed a new design of fin tube inspired by nature, similar to weaving of saris. And we find a expert in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, who helped in designing this fin tube. So you can see that the how miniature component this fin tube is have. ID is 0.3 mm and OD is 0.5 mm and thickness is only 0.1 mm. So with the help of our local expert, we indigenize this technology, and further we indigenize this very important technology of bellows. With this indigenizing all the technology, we realize the first indigenous prototype of SRGT cryocular. Here I want to show the how this flow regulation mechanism works. So you can see that after achieving temperature, this self-regulation mechanism activate and it close down the orifice. So why this is important? Because this JT cricula is like the missile, and in missile we have a limited space for the gas. So during flight we have to conserve the gas. So this self-regulation mechanism is very important. Please focus on this nib. You can see that after achieving the temperature, this flow will automatically close. Now see, the main flow has been closed and we are only minimized flow is happening through a second flow. So after this, we went for the further usual trials, that is the environmental testing, vibration testing, shock testing, etc. And all the technical parameters were within the limits. So that's how we completed the further 3 milestones, and we realized that our achieved parameters were far better than our targeted parameters. So that was the eureka moment for us, and I can say that we have indigenized a JT curricular that was the best in the world. So that's how we handed over first lot of 15 numbers of SRJT curricular on 26th April 2024 to user. And during journey, we have got a lot of support from our honorable defense minister. He himself visited us for the demonstration of SRJT curricular. Our team was invited in an Indian Defense enclave, and we were facilitated by the dignitaries. Prime Minister himself sent our honorable scientific advisor to demonstrate our self-regulating Joule Thomson curricular on National Technology Day. And that's how we successfully closed this project on 5th November 2024. So what was the impact of our achievement? There is no more dependence on foreign suppliers and huge cost of saving. It was earlier it was costing more than 4 lakh per piece. Now the cost of the JT curricular is less than 1 lakh. So 75% amount we are saving now. This is a small video I can show. So we, along with our main industry partner, we incorporated the 32 number of startup and MSME in this journey. And what is the a beautiful moment now I can share is, earlier we were going to the Israel, America, and France for the importing the technology. During last month in Aero India, Bangalore, the 3 big company from Israel, Sweden, and France visited us to import this technology. So the buyer has become seller. Thank you. This is the export inquiry from Lindred, France. So what is the outcome? We have delivered 100 numbers of SRJT curricula to RCR user. We have created the production ecosystem in India. They are fully equipped to supply the Indian requirement as well as the global requirement. We have received export inquiry from Israel, France, and Sweden. It was a journey from import to export. It's creating a lot of savings of forex. Very proud moment. So there is a lesson for young scientists. My advice: science is all about belief. Failure is a part of success. Look at our strength, and nothing is impossible. So I conclude this lecture by saying that science is not a profession; it's a mission. A mission to solve problems, improve lives, and strengthen our nation. We did not just build a curriculum; we built a legacy of self-reliance. It was a journey from import to export. This is just a beginning. The future is ours to create. So I acknowledge the support I got from our chairman DRDO, Director General MCC, and Director SSPL. Further, I would like to thank Dr. S.K. Singh and Dr. Rajiv and Amity University for inviting me for interacting with this wonderful faculty and student. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful and informative presentation. And now it is our great pleasure to now introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. She is a distinguished and a committed professional with more than 25 years of rich experience in various technologies, including networks, security, directory services, messaging services. She has received BTech, MTech, and holds a doctorate degree in information security from IIT Delhi. May I now invite on stage Dr. Seema Khanna to share her thoughts. Yes.
मैम की पीपीटी है ना?
हाँ, लगा दो.
ये दूसरी.
Ah, let me use that.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Dedi for a very nice introduction. Thank you, everyone. And I want to congratulate Dr. Gupta for a wonderful job. The nation is very proud of you. Thank you. And unlike Dr. Gupta, मैं कुछ ज़्यादा ज्ञान नहीं दूंगी because I feel that you have a very capable faculty who's leading the path. बच्चे थोड़े सोए लग रहे हैं. Can 5 minutes, just I'll take 5-10 minutes. I can actually take a recollection of how my daughter would react. अगर यहाँ खड़े होंगे तो बोलेगी बहुत लोग हैं ज्ञान देने को एक और आ गए. So my only submission here is that जो भी करो खुशी से करो. It's science. I'm sure you're all in the room. You enjoy science. That's why you're here today, right? अब मैं पूछूंगी कि साइंस को एंजॉय करते हो या नहीं करते हो तो यूनानिमस जवाब हाँ का ही आएगा. Correct? That's why you're there in the room. I feel like I'm a fossil जब मैं आप सब यंग बच्चों को देखती हूँ. हमारे जमाने में there were only 2 options, engineering या medicine. And माँ बाप का कहना मान के, तुम भी अच्छे बच्चे हो, माँ बाप का कहना मान के जिस रास्ते पे चले गए. Today you're lucky that you have a plethora of options. I mean, I was speaking to Dr. Murthy and I've been told Amity offers you about 400 programs. You're spoiled for choice, kids. आप जो करना चाहते हो खुशी से करो, दिल से करो. Of course, today since we're talking about science, so science is the fulcrum which joins all of us. Like Dr. Tandon said, Mike है. Dr. Mehra से बाहर बात हो रही थी तो किसी ने कभी सोचा था कि एक सब्जी वाला एक फोन पे पैसे लेगा. Very rightly he pointed out, you kids have come to bloom during a timeline of this nation when anything you want to do can be done. 2014 से जो एक revolution आई है इस देश में, digital movement हुआ है इस देश में, that has been so tremendous that we are still yet to believe that India has accomplished so much. इतनी बड़ी journey, and I can say that with a very a lot of confidence because I've been part of that journey. My ministry is the one who drives the digital India of the government. So honorable PM का जो vision है digital India का, मेरी ministry ने पूरा किया है, पूरा कर रहे हैं because उनका vision is always a moving goalpost. वो रोज एक बढ़िया सोच आते हैं. I mean, I would like to say that today is the thing. I would not like to quote our honorable PM wrong here. So the active participation of India's youth regarded as the key drivers of this change, Prime Minister Narendra Modi underscored their role stating, youth power is both the agent of change and also the beneficiaries of change. जो आज आप सीखोगे, जो आज आपने सीखा cryogenics का, it's going to continue. Now, like I said in my opening remark, जो करो खुशी से करो. I'll tell you a small little anecdote. I do have a slide. तो कुछ तो आई हूँ, कुछ तो बता के जाऊंगी because we're doing a lot. So we'll tell you something about it. But before I reach there, my humble input to all of you kids is that my daughter must be a little older than all of you. And उसको typical Indian माँ की तरह मैंने उसको science में push किया. I said, beta, you have to take science. I mean, I'm an engineer, so there's option ही नहीं है. You have to take science. And like a very good daughter, she took science. And 1.5 साल झेलती रही, 2 साल झेलती रही. Around end of 12th, my daughter comes to me and she says, Ma, I don't want to be an engineer. And I was kind of taken aback. I said, beta, my father's a doctor. Your mother's an engineer. How can you possibly come and say you don't want to do engineering? She said, Ma, I'm not going to enjoy it. It was a very honest confession from a child, a 17, 18-year-old child. But she came and said, Mama, I'm not going to enjoy it. Do you want me to go through a life of misery? I'm not going to enjoy it. आपने बोला साइंस ले लो, 10th में गलती से अच्छे नंबर आ गए थे, DPS ने दे दिए, ले लिया, लेकिन I'm not going to enjoy it. So I said, okay, beta, what do you want to do? So she turns around and tells me I want to do law. And law मेरे खानदान में दूर दूर से नहीं है, although from a common sense perspective घर में एक lawyer जरूर होना चाहिए, एक doctor और एक lawyer जरूर होना चाहिए, पता नहीं कब जरूरत पड़ जाए. But at that point in time, she said, Mama, I want to do law, and I said, beta, I won't be able to assist you in your navigation. Engineering की एक सोच थी, भाई यहाँ तक मुकाम पे पहुंचे हैं, भगवान ने सिर पे हाथ रखा है तो नौकरी वोकरी तो दिला ही देंगे. So at that time she turns around and tells me, Mama, I don't need your skills there. If you let me do what I'm happy doing, I won't need you. That kind of struck a chord with me. Really, she said, Ma, if I have to hold your hand at every step of the way, just because you want me to do engineering, do you think that's the life you want for me? So it was that Simran movement for me, you know. How many of you see me, Dil Dale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge? Dekhe? So beta, go, live your life. So my daughter ended up doing law, and touch wood, she's a remarkable lawyer today. She's in London. She's doing very well. She went and she's a certified solicitor. But the long and short of this journey is, jo karo khushi se karo. I'm a very happy engineer. Everybody on the dais, sir is a doctor. We're all happy doing. So आगे जाके अगर आपको लगता है you want to take a different trajectory in life, and many engineers end up doing MBA, right? 4 साल engineering science का कर आके you go into finance. You're doing it, right? Because you feel there's a change in your trajectory and you do it and you're happy doing it. So बच्चे बोलते हैं यार engineering की seat क्यों waste की? But that's what your heart wanted you to do at that point in time. So the success, whether it's science, whether anything that you do, has to be driven from the heart. ये कभी देखा है that what is the distinguishing factor here? जो आप लोग सारे, I'm sure there are toppers in the room, but सारे तो toppers नहीं होंगे. I was not a topper, not by a long shot. But what, and I'm fortunate to be standing here in front of you. I've been invited by Amity, and I was not a topper by a long shot. But what kept me driven was how I leverage my knowledge, my creativity, how I choose to use that where perhaps the toppers didn't. You're getting the fine distinction. You don't have to be a topper to excel in life. You have to have that conviction, that belief in you that you can do it. उस सोच से आगे बढ़ो. टॉपर्स बहुत होते हैं, किताबी कीड़े होते हैं, कई बच्चे अच्छे होते हैं, लेकिन वो क्रिएटिविटी एलिमेंट, जो इनोवेशन, आज का टॉपिक आपका इनोवेशन है, फॉस्टरिंग साइंस एंड इनोवेशन. दैट इनोवेशन इज दैट किक. एंड यू आर सपोज्ड टू बी लीडर्स. यू आर ऑल गोइंग टू बी द लीडर्स ऑफ टुमारो. यू आर द यूथ ऑफ टुमारो. तुम्हारे में इस देश का कल है. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज अ लीडर? एनी रिस्पांस इन द रूम? हु डू यू थिंक इज अ लीडर? यू ऑल टुडे वी आर ट्राइंग टू प्रेप यू टू बिकम लीडर्स, राइट? Who's the leader? What's a leader? Anybody, any kid would like to answer? Who's the leader? लीडर्स बन रहे हो भाई, आज हमसे ज्ञान ले रहे हो. Who is going to be a leader? No idea? Okay. So are leaders born? Is it nature versus nurture? Are leaders born or are they created? इसका तो जवाब दे दो. हाँ? जोर का. Created? Did somebody say created? Okay. Yes, that's the correct answer. Because एक होता है basic trait, like I never need a mic. मुझे जितने लोग बोल रहे हैं, I rarely need a mic. I'm loud. I continue to be loud and I'm proud of being loud. But leaders का एक primary trait होता है to create more leaders. अगर leader को एक follower ही बनाना है, then he's not a leader. You create more leaders. तो आज अगर हम लोग we are fortunate to be among all of you, we are sitting on the table because at some point in time we have touched somebody's life and made that person a leader. So you have to have that basic insight in you that how are you going to leverage? किताबें सबके पास same होती हैं, but what you produce in the exam varies. It's leveraging knowledge, big data. Big. I need a little water. It's okay. How many of you have heard of big data? Anybody's heard? Come on, कौन सी big data का नाम नहीं सुना? Facebook का सुना है, right? सुना है, right? Twitter का सुना है, right? Artificial intelligence का सुना है, correct? How do you think? Are you convinced that if you go and delete something on the internet, it is gone? How many of you are convinced कि आपने कुछ delete किया है तो वो delete हो गया है? हुआ है delete? बड़े सोते हुए बच्चे हो यार, थोड़ा जोर का. नहीं ना? It's not going to be deleted. So that is the power of science. And in AI, the way it's churning out numbers, it's the big data, the data lakes that are being created, the AI engines that are running. How many of you, anybody, I'm sure AI is a subject in MIT. Any of your kids inching and inclining towards AI? Any kid in the room is inclining towards AI? No? Please do that. That's the future. There are two topics which are going to be the future in science, technology. One is AI. The other is cybersecurity, cyber and information security. Even the cryogenics, which Dr. Gupta was talking about, will need to be secure. Am I right? Secure to उसे करना ही पड़ेगा from a cyber and information security perspective. Any of you, I'm sure MIT is offering that as a course. Cyber and information security is across boundaries. आप किसी भी subject को touch कीजिए. The two topics which you need to inch today and you cannot possibly get out of is AI and cyber security. इनमें से एक को पकड़िएगा because no matter what you take as a major, this has to be as your additional input because you'll never be able to do justice to the topic that you're talking about. Now that was a little additional input, but why we are here is how many of you have studied networks? इसमें तो show of hands. Anybody studying networks? Science वाले, no engineers in the room? No? No, any engineers in the room? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you kids, are you studying networks? Networking पढ़ रहे हो? OSI layers पढ़ रहे हो? अच्छा, चलो, उसको छोड़ो. How many of you know what is the network on which you are connected in Amity? आप सबका नेटवर्क है, वाईफाई चलता है, सब दौड़ के चलता है, बढ़िया चलता है, ब्रिलियंट चलता है. Anybody has ever asked the question कौन सा नेटवर्क है? नेटवर्क कौन से? एयरटेल है, वोडा है, जियो है. These are all lease bandwidths they're providing. You as an NKN, as an MIT, are very fortunate to be connected to something called the National Knowledge Network, what you see on the screen. That's a project incubated under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, the ministry that I represent. Now, this is a brilliantly architected network which leverages all the service providers. Incidentally, the current phase of NKN does not, but from a technical standpoint, it can. It's okay. So, network एक ऐसी चीज है. आज मैंने आप लोगों से एक प्रश्न पूछा तो शायद आपके दिमाग में ये उठा होगा कि नेटवर्क के बारे में तो कभी सोचा भी नहीं क्योंकि फोन है चल रहा है, फेसबुक है चल रहा है, व्हाट्सएप है चल रहा है, कभी सोचे कैसे चल रहा है? फोन का वो सिम निकल जाए चलता है वो, या वाईफाई बंद हो जाए चलता है वो. सो नेटवर्क एक ऐसी चीज है जो मेरे हिसाब से एक प्लेबैक सिंगर है. ट्राई सीइंग अ मूवी विदाउट बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक, इट लुक इनकम्प्लीट, राइट? So network today is the primary underlying backbone which is making your world go round. तुम बच्चों को अगर WhatsApp एक दिन के बिना रह पाओगे? नहीं रह पाओगे. ट्विटर के बिना रह पाओगे without tweeting your latest snaps or going up on Facebook? That is the power of a network. So please understand these basic lines. When we are standing here today, I can only urge you, because हमारा यहाँ काम इतना छोटा सा है कि कुछ एक thoughts आपके दिमाग में plant करके जाएं, जो perhaps आपको सही लगे, तो you will go back and read about them. If you feel it's a waste of time, 15 minutes जिंदगी के बर्बाद हो गए, you'll forget about it. But these are the basic pillars जिसके बारे में आपको कुछ मालूम होना चाहिए to even hold a good conversation with wherever you go. कल के आपके job interviews आएंगे. These are not something which are associated with your subject line, but these are the etc. in your life, even if you're not following them as a prime mainstream, that you need to know about. So let me carry you through what NKN is. Now, disruptive technologies. Everybody knows what's a disruptive technology. It's a technology that will transform. WhatsApp and all are disruptive technologies. And they kind of revolutionize everything. So all of them require network. This is just a history of how network evolved. These are landmark developments of network. The rest is history. We cannot accomplish this in silos. The reason why we're today in the room is that you have to foster science and innovation. What are the 4 C's? Creativity, communication, critical thinking, and collaboration. There's a reason why I have Arogya Setu on the slide. I was fortunate again to be leading the Arogya Setu project for the government of India, and I was very fortunate to be interacting with Honorable PL at that time. Arogya Setu was the most brilliant outcome of collaboration. You can never do science in isolation. You have to prove. Nobel Prize to sabko nahi milega, but you cannot possibly do science in isolation, technology in isolation. You have to have a collaborative framework. NKN gives you that. NKN creates a platform for you to collaborate with global researchers. You don't need to be anywhere. You can be sitting in this room. You can be sitting in CERN, Geneva, which is where we are connected. We have a direct link to CERN, Geneva. We can be sitting in Netherlands. We can be sitting in Singapore. We have direct line. You can just name the researcher you want to collaborate with, and they do it. So these are just a couple of slides. You need data sets. Do you know how much data set does Twitter release for AI and for generating intelligence? Any idea? No idea? It's about less than 2%. Less than 2% is what Twitter releases for analytics. So the data that you generate, that is like, there's a saying that latest quote is, data is the new oil. Because whoever holds data is the actual billionaire. Because without data, you cannot do science. Kis basis pe karoge? Because AI ka sabse fundamental yahi hai that input output. You give in wrong data, you're going to get wrong output. So your data needs to be sanitized. The good data, the bad data, the distinction between data. ये चीजें आपको दिमाग में रखनी पड़ेंगी. आप कुछ भी आगे करने जाओगे. I don't know which year you all kids are, but irrespective, if you're here sitting in the room, खुशी से है और भाग के बैठा है, that's irrespective. But please take away these small little nuggets of inputs that they are going to be very important for you to be leveraging way forward, how you think, how you use your inputs. This is just to tell you what NKN can do. So NKN, you know what's a research and education network? Any of you kids know what's an NREN? एक तो हो गया network. एक होता है National Research and Education Network, which is where MAT is connected. Because तुम्हारे इतने सारे programs हैं, you have so much research going on here. Ma'am said you've got so many patents filed. So NKN is the National Research and Education Network of India. Just remember that. You need to know that. Many countries, depending on the size, like US has 2-3 of them. Canada has got Canary. Every nation has got its own NREN. India ka NKN hai. And it's connecting all the research labs of India and globally through its basic peering with other countries. It's connecting all the medical hospitals. You name it, AIMS, circa AIMS. You need DRDO is connected. His office is connected on NKN. I don't know, Dr. Gupta, if you don't know that, I'm additional nugget of information. You're on NKN. So everything is on NKN. You name it, your research labs, your medical hospitals, your IITs, your NITs, everything in this country is connected on NKN. And it's 100% uptime network. Abhi down nahi hota hai. You don't suffer from that. And that's because it's been brilliantly architected because of the technology and science that's gone behind. This is just a landmark of how it's going to be working. Campus network is what you have within your building. National networks, that's the NREN. Regional networks, you go into Asia Pacific. And global connections, like I said, US, Canary, Canada. It's got its own connection. Why RENs? Because जब आप patents file करते हैं, जब आप data को handle करते हैं, you need huge volume of data moving from point A to point B. अगर छोटा सा network होगा जिसकी pipe छोटी होगी, Data will not move. You will never get an outcome of the result that you're trying to run. So you need a fat pipe. This is called literally a fat pipe. So NCAN gives you that fat pipe to move data from point A to point B. This is just data handling. This is the presence of network layout across research education globally. This is for in Asia. NCAN, like I said, was started in 2010. It's the largest NREN in the world of its kind. You name the institutes of the government and a few good ones like Amity, which are also connected. We started off with 8 Mbps, and today we are inching towards a 100 gigabit, 100 gig link. It's pan-India. It never goes down. It's got global peerings, like I said. So you have any researcher sitting anywhere in any of these globes, you need it, you'll get access to it. Blue Raman, I cannot possibly go without saying this because it's all about Mr. C. Raman today. We are very soon going to be launching in 2025 under a EU collaboration, something called as the Blue Raman Spectrum Cable. That is across Mediterranean, Red Sea and the Arabian Sea, undersea link cable, which is named after him, which is brilliant, and it's an acknowledgement of a great man. So actually, EU is funding most of the cable that's going on. It's going to be called Blue Raman. I don't know how much time I've got left. I'll just take 2 minutes. I won't even run you through it. This is a slide which I love. Cybersecurity, like I said, you cannot possibly do anything without it. So you will remain the weakest link in a cybersecurity framework if you do not understand what cyber and information security is all about. So go back, take that as a major. It's got a major potential in the market. Everybody needs cyber and information security experts. You cannot launch a project without a cyber and information security experts. It's got tremendous potential. So please go and take it up. I'd like to stop here with just one prayer that I give to my daughters all the time. I've got 2 little girls. And that is the Serenity prayer. I don't know how many of you have heard it, but it's very close to my heart. So I'm just leaving that as a bit of information to you. God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is something that's going to carry you through life, because that fine distinction of knowing the difference of what you can do and what you can't do is going to be the altering factor of your life. Know your limits, push beyond your limits, but beyond that, find the courage to step away, right? All the best, kids. Have a wonderful life. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing such informative thoughts. It is a great pleasure to now introduce our chief guest, Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President, International Affairs, INSA. In addition, Dr. Mehra is Emeritus Scientist of the Indian Council of Medical Research, former Dean and founder head of Department of Transplant Immunology and Immunogenetics, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. He is council member, International Union of Immunological Societies, IUIS, and International Histocompatibility Association. His honors include India's highest SS Bhatnagar Award, Ranbaxy Science Foundation Award, and B.R. Ambedkar Award for Excellence in Research. I would like to invite him to share his thoughts.
Slides भी हैं. ये चलती नहीं है. ये वाला माइक ये लगा दें. ये चल रहा है. ये वाले इसमें नहीं तो कैमरे का इसमें दम कम है. मैं तो बढ़ा देता हूँ कोई. Yes, yes. उसकी आवाज बढ़ाओ यार. Thank you very much. I hope the students at the back can hear me. Can you? And you're all students of science? Very good. So what I'm going to talk to you today is about the National Science Day 2025. National Science Day is celebrated by India every year, and every year they come up with a new theme. And the very first NSD was celebrated on February 28, 1987. Why are these students going away? Have they to go to some other class or something? Chancellor Saab, aap jara. Would you like to settle down? If you want to go out, please go out. But settle down. Thank you. Hmm? Okay. So the very first National Science Day was celebrated on February 28, 1987. And this was done to honor the invention made by Dr. Sir C.V. Raman, a highly talented Indian scientist who, as you know, was awarded the Nobel Prize way back in 1930 for his groundbreaking work on the light scattering of phenomenon. The day gives us hope and inspiration to future generations to pursue their goal. And several programs are done all over India. We commemorate this National Science Day to recognize the grandeur of science, in everyday life. And the theme of this year's National Science Day is empowering Indian youth for global leadership in science and innovation for Viksit Bharat. We are already in that Amrit Kal, as our Honorable Prime Minister says, that we have this 25 years beginning to 2023 as the Amrit Kal. And it is time, therefore, to sustain the spirit of science and mark qualities of a good scientist. And I want to begin with this particular slide, show you the work of Sir Charles Darwin, greatest scientist of all times, who, as you know, discovered the theory of evolution. He had stated evolution occurs because of a phenomenon called natural selection. But I want to highlight 6 properties that this scientist had, and you must read some of the work that he has done. These are 6 very important properties that this scientist had. He was very observant. He made large collections of specimens. He made extensive detailed notes. He used to write and make notes. Unlike you guys nowadays, you only use it on your mobile phone. You know, when you write notes, when you write by yourself, it stays in your mind for all times to come. He was also very curious and open to learning new things. He tried not to be biased and to base his scientific beliefs on evidence rather than on preconceived ideas. These are the properties, these are the qualities of a good scientist. I also want to talk to you a little bit about Alexander Fleming. Fleming, who discovered penicillin, and he of course was working in the lab, discovered some fungus growing in a petri dish of Streptococcus bacteria that seemed to be preventing the bacteria around it from growing. And he used this as a tool to create the penicillin there. The other guy I want to talk about is this Dr. Rudolf Virchow. He was the father of modern path. And he said, if I could live my life once again, I would devote it to proving that germs seek their natural habitat, the diseased tissue. They go to the diseased tissue rather than being the cause of the dead tissue. In other words, mosquitoes seek the stagnant water, but do not cause the pool to become stagnant. If you create stagnant water over there, the mosquitoes will grow. But this is a slide which tells you the challenges that you're going to face in the next half a century. These are very important challenges, and you guys are going to face them more than on this side of the table. Clean energy, water, and food and nutrition. We're talking all the time of climate change, environmental pollution, antimicrobial resistance. And I want to just highlight in my brief talk that I had time for the climate change and the AMR. And you are already aware of those 17 sustainable development goals of the UN. The UN has come up with those 17 sustainable development goals for several years. But when you look at the progress that has been made in each of them, the progress has been very, very slow. Maybe Europe, the Western Europe has done some work in some of these 17 goals. But you know, at least 7 of these goals, 7 of these sustainable development goals are directly affected by antimicrobial resistance. And today we have faced this twin crisis of air pollution and AMR. And these are intertwined global challenges that we have. And understanding how AMR evolved alongside climate change could give us insights into policy and effective intervention. This was something very unique to know that AMR can also be affected or can be opposed through the climate change. And today you see, because of these two things, or because of mainly the climate change, there's a growing cancer risk. And the growing cancer risk is due to air pollution and also due to AMR. What we urgently need is an interdisciplinary research, political advocacy, and sustained global effort. You know that the human health is determined by the interaction of our environment with the genome, epigenome, and the microbiome, all of which shape the transcriptomic, proteomic, and the metabolomic landscape of our cells and tissues there. What is AMR? And this is for the audience at the back over there. You know, we keep talking about AMR, but today it turns out AMR is going to kill many more number of people than cancer will. AMR refers to microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, viruses, and parasites being able to resist the effects of antimicrobial drugs that were earlier effective in treating infections. And due to this, the treatment and management of even common infections like pneumonia is becoming challenging. Now, the drug that we have of treating pneumonia is already under resistance there because there is excessive use of antimicrobial drugs. And people in the veterinary field use it even more. So they're available off the shelf. WHO in 2019 named AMR as one of the top 10 threats to global health besides viral pandemics and the climate change. And there's a high burden of AMR in the low and the middle income countries. And there were an estimated 5 million deaths associated with the bacterial AMR in 2019. And as per the ICMR estimates, the mean total increment cost of treating any resistant infection is 40% higher than if the drug was not resistant there. And the World Bank, according to the World Bank estimates, AMR could result in US dollar $1 trillion additional healthcare costs by 2050 and US dollar 1.3 to 4 trillion GDP losses by 2030. So AMR, as I talked about, human use and veterinary use. The drugs are both in the human use and the veterinary use. They're also there in the industrial effluents. The pharmaceutical industries, you know, the chemicals or the drugs that they don't need, they just throw it in the basket over there. Now, all of this is creating this problem of antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic overuse, as I said, is about 2.5 times more in the animal system than in man. But this was a very important paper which came up in August 2023. It was in Lancet and carried by Hindustan Times. I was so happy that Hindustan Times actually they has a very important science section, and this girl Ridhima Kaul keep bringing it up. This was in the Hindustan Times, talking for the first time that antibiotic resistance increases with air pollution. What did this study say? It's a long paper, about 70-page article over there, and talked about 480,000 premature deaths by 2018, but it would become double by the time we go to 2050. And this paper talks about how does this happen, mechanism associated with it, but it was very clear that these are two intertwined issues that we are talking about. I want to highlight one Chicago study that we have done. I'm very scared of showing this Chicago study to my international audience. You know, I keep traveling around the world. But look at this study. This is called Chicago study, which has reduced the lifespan of nearly 12 years, reduced the lifespan of Delhiites by 12 years. The impact of PM 2.5 in global life expectancy is comparable to that of smoking and more than 3 times that of the alcohol use. In India, air pollution reduces average life expectancy by 5.3 years in India as a whole, in Delhi by 12 years. whether you're living in Noida or I live in Gurgaon, Delhi NCR, your life expectancy is decreasing due to this pollution there. China has done it. China has controlled it. They came up with war against pollution there. And you can see that significantly reduce the pollution there. America has also done. US came up with the Clean Air Act. And you see that the WHO has come up with the finding that the reducing global pollution to meet the WHO standards, and the WHO standards are PM 2.5 to be less than 5 microgram. Less than 5 microgram. That is the WHO standard there. In Delhi, we had 126.5, 25 times more. This was in 2023, and my friend said, no, in 2024 it came down to 95, but still 20 times more or so. And we talk of industrialization, economic development, population outgrowth, have all led to this energy needs and energy demands, and we need to really find those green energy issues there. In India, the number of vehicles have grown, and we very proudly talk to our friends who come from international countries and always, oh, India is now doing very well. The number of cars have grown so much. Every household has a car. Well, if this state of affair goes on, your next generation or next to next generation will be forced to come on bicycles. The cars will have to go. Some effort is being done, but I want to talk to you about roadmap to Viksit Bharat, our Amrit Kaal. That's the main theme of the National Science Day of 2025. Here we are talking about empowering Indian youth for global leadership in science and innovation. Our aim is that the youngsters take up science, and in INSA, in the Indian National Science Academy, we have a special scheme by which we sort of encourage our fellows to go to the rural schools of India and encourage children at 10 to 12 in the 10th grade to take up science as a subject. They're not very keen. Dr. Seema Khanna said they're not keen to take up science. They want to go to law. They want to go to commerce and all, because science takes years and all. But science makes you really grow into a good human being. What we need is a multifaceted approach, which should include updated curriculum in our education system. We need to have skill development. AI has come into the field now. We need to enhance our research opportunities. We need to enhance our research infrastructure and enhance and expose our youngsters to international collaboration there. And I want to talk about what do we expect from India of 2047. We need to strengthen our STEM education. Today in Hindustan Times, there is again a news item called iSTEM, Indian Science Technology Empowering System there. This is released by the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. What we need here is a focus on curriculum reform. Integrate practical hands-on training and critical thinking early on. When I say early on, maybe from school days. Promote early exposure to emerging technologies like our AI, robotics, Internet of Things, quantum computing and all. Incentivize research. Our youngsters have to be encouraged to take up research. It's very important for you to bring up a researchable question. Question has to be brought in front of us, and for that you have to read all that work that has been done in the past. So there's a need to establish more research-oriented programs at UG and the PG levels there. The second thing that we need to do, if we want to really go to Viksit Bharat of 2047, encourage innovation and startups. Support the startup ecosystem there. In 2014, we had only 100 startups. Today, we have more than 140,000 startups. And what the government thinks is that even if half of them do well, and these startups are all done by the youngsters. And in fact, a couple of the youngsters came to me, and I am actually today mentoring two startups, and I'm very hopeful that they will do well. But one of the startups is actually trying to make immunotherapy products for treatment of cancer, what we call CAR NK cells and CAR T cells and all that. If we import them, and there are, of course, any number of companies around the world, they would want you to import. They would want those trials to be done on Indian patients over here so that they can show, look, this product works in India. I was approached by this very important scientist in US who was the chairman of the one of the big cancer centers over there. They said, Narendra, we want to hire you for a few months and help us in producing, help us in our improving our immunotherapy products that we have and introduce them to India. Of course, they hired me and they gave me good amount of money. I was very happy with that. But then I said, we would like to manufacture some of them in India. They were not keen. So we took up that challenge. A couple of youngsters came to me and they said, sir, we will do it. So we all got together and we have now come to a stage that in 2 years' time, our immunotherapy products for at least 4 cancers manufactured in India of the world-class type will come to the market. Whereas if we would have imported, each patient would need about 20 crores actually. We can make this available for 10 lakhs or so. So that's the kind of thing that our scientists have to do today. Any number of you, there is no dearth of brain, there is no dearth of incentives that you have. Please make up plans, join together, discuss among yourselves. Today, the word is that you have to think in terms of creating a company. When I was doing science, there was never a sort of effort to teach our youngsters to create a company. And then I started seeing that in US and Europe, every scientist of my level was actually having a company. This is something that we need to have over here. So we need to develop world-class laboratories with cutting-edge research facilities. I have seen some labs over here. They're doing extremely well, but we need to grow more. And today, the iSTEM, this is a new sort of directive that has come up from the government of India. They are asking institutions of excellence like yours or like AIMS and all that to give 30% of the time for their equipment to these startups and to others who don't have this. So that startups suffer from lack of funds and they are sort of forced to buy the equipment that they need for something or the other. So I think this is an extremely important. What we need also is to build technoparks, incubators, GMP. We don't have GMP. The good manufacturing practices facilities. The sort of startup that I'm trying to mentor to make those immunotherapy products, they want to use this, and there's no GMP facility here. This needs to be done. We need to have at least 10, 20 of such kind of facilities all over India. And I think an institution like Amity should also think in terms of that. Promote research industry conclaves. This is very important. During my time, we were told, you are from an academic institution. We are from AIMS. We are not supposed to interact with any industry. I think times have changed now. I was the dean of the institute in 2014. We were getting a request from Holland. They wanted to collaborate. There are 5 universities in Holland. They wanted to collaborate with AIMS. And they of course came over here to India and they wanted us to go there. So we went there. I took a team of my 5 topmost doctors from India and we went to those 5 universities in Holland. Each of that university, we were surprised to see, had a separate brand new building there that was a private enterprise. That anything that you do in the lab, you go to them and say, how can I bring it to the market? We have grown so much so far. So far, we have grown only in an academic environment. We are happy with one or two papers in the good journals over there, I get SS Banagar award or some other award and all that. We are very happy. I think times are changing now. Today, we need to promote this research industry conclaves so that while you are a student or while you are a PhD student or a postdoc, and even at that time start thinking in terms of bringing this product to the marketable stage. Thinking in terms of creating a company. Don't look for a job, but look for something that you can create a company and give jobs to others. Building the skill gap. You know, we cannot go to Viksit Bharat unless we build this skill gap. Focus on vocational and technical training. Internship and apprenticeship. This is very important. I was very happy last year. The Honorable Prime Minister of India, Modi ji, did that. He is almost forcing big companies to hire these youngsters as apprentices. And the government will also pay in that. And soft skill development over there. These are the kind of things that we need to think right now. And then sustainability and inclusivity. Strong thrust to technologies that use circular economy and sustainable solutions. Because you cannot create a company unless you have the economy at the back. So, you know, sustainable and circular economy. Promote science communication. This is something that I would like to highlight. Our youngsters, and this is my own experience of youngsters who take up science, they're not taught the communication skills. Communication skill is very important. I'm not saying that you must speak in English. If you're good in Hindi, but make sure that you can communicate. Communicate to a level that you can impress others. Convey your point of view. Today, our youngsters who pass out, who even do their PhD and all that, when we ask them to come and speak, the communication skill lacks. Not their fault, Papa, but we have not built it in our curriculum. Communication skill is as important as doing science. Leadership skills is very important to inculcate amongst our students at the student age itself. Leadership skills and innovative challenges. We need to take up challenges. And last but not the least, promote young leadership there. Identify young leaders. And this is something that has to be done by my friends over here. Wherever you work, promote, identify a very important or good sort of young leaders, promote them, fast track their ideas for knowledge generation, tech innovation, and market requirement. Dr. Garg showed you a slide. Never be afraid of any failures. One of the Nobel laureates said that if you do not have failures in your career, then that means that you are going through a wrong path. If you want to go to a right path, failures will come, failures are bound to come, but failures are the ones that will teach you. The second is role models and mentorship. It is very important to create a network where young innovators can rub shoulders with established scientists and entrepreneurs. Dr. Tandon, wherever I go, I tell them I have come to a stage in my life, I want to mentor. I can also come here to mentor free. You don't have to pay me anything. But this is my duty. This is the duty of each one of you to mentor our youngsters. And we keep, this is not just a theme that encouraging young scientists for the Viksit Bharat. Are Viksit Bharat mein kaise jaoge? We have to do all of these things. I think the ball is on both sides of the court, and now I want to bring a ball on your side of the court. Try novel approaches. Try novel approaches with a conviction. Don't be scared of failures. Have self-belief and have a think big approach. Always think big. But this is even more important. What you need is to be a good scientist in Viksit Bharat, develop innovative mindset. We are generally afraid of innovations and failures. It will not work. Never create that thing in your mind. If you have self-belief that this is going to work, it will work. Transformative science needed with focus on benefits for the community. Today we are talking of science for society and science in society. I'll give you one example. During COVID-19, I used to write a lot of articles for Hindustan Times talking about host immunity and vaccines. And you remember that during the time when the Delta wave was there, we were all under a sort of a dark tunnel, didn't know kahan jayenge. So I one day I walked around my house where the buildings were being made and all that, and I talked to the labor over there and asked them that we have come to a dead end now. This pandemic will kill us all. What do you think is this solution? Most of them will be quiet. One guy told me, sir, solution will come from science. That encouraged us. Science for society. Whatever you do as a science, don't do it in the four walls of your room. Bring it to the society there. Because unless you involve the society, science for society, and therefore, when India was the chair for the G20, I was trying to coordinate the Science 20 activities. We made science for society as one of the themes of the Science 20. Early research must be supported by public or private funding. The second very important issue is quantum of funding. Thinking big. This is also my request to the funding agencies. They're very happy in saying, oh, I've given them a grant of 20 lakhs. I think they have to also start thinking big. You're giving 20 lakhs and you want this young guy to do something great? Can't be done. They have to also start thinking big now. Inadequate funding is not going to be good. Science agencies and academies together could help to redefine the research funding structure and need to enhance public science communication. You see, most of the institutions in the West, more than 90% of all those topmost institutions in the West are by the private enterprise, not the government one. It has been the other way around in India. Now the things are changing. Amity University and there are many others who are doing extremely well, and I think they have to do even more, even better actually. So the youngsters who all the time look towards government agencies for funding their research, this can also come from the private enterprise. And the last point I wanted to have was the objective thinking, taking lab research to a marketable final product. We need early and university education system which requires improvement in the creativity. PhD program has to be really defined. We ask a PhD student, you must publish 2 articles, and that's enough. And that becomes like a junk actually. I think we have to train them to go to the market, establish your own company there. And they have no exposure to biotech industry. I can tell you my own example. I worked for 45 years in AIMS. And of course, I got all the highest awards for science that India can give. When I left AIMS and I came to industry, I had no idea. This is the way the industry works. Somebody comes to me and says, sir, I am the sales head. I am the marketing head. मैंने कहा मेरे को किस चीज की sales चाहिए? मेरे को किस चीज की marketing चाहिए? We were never exposed to. I think today we need to expose our youngsters to all of these needs. And I want to end my talk before my friends over here start saying that your time is up by talking about Dr. Ashok Chauhan. He has impressed me a lot. Your founder chairman, remarkable guy. He gives me this yellow card. I'm sure he has given to you guys as well. He is a real example, is a real inspiration. How he has brought up this Amity family up from a small school that he ran first. And now, Madam Vice Chancellor was saying in about 12 institutions in India, there are many outside of India. And he says when God pushes somebody, inspires somebody, leads somebody, no power in the world can stop such an individual. But his back part of the yellow card is even more important. the Amity formula. I'm sure they have all told you about this Amity formula. This has really inspired me a lot. His card. He says you are working for the good, plan for minimum 100 years of age. I want to live 100 years of age, of course. Everybody wants to live 100 years of age. Couple of years ago, I used to go around the country giving lectures. My lecture title was Can Man Live for 150 Years? Of course, because in the 50s, the average lifespan of man was 40 years. Today it is 80 years, at least in India. There are a lot of people that you see in the 90s. People are also going to touch 100 as well. So he says, if that is in your mind, if God also needs his people to follow his vision and are instrumental in fulfilling his mission and him, he needs the people who are working for making the world a better place and are dedicated to serve the humanity. So aim for living up to 100 years. If we are doing that much of science, if we are bringing every day new vaccine, we are bringing every day new drugs and all that, why can't we live for 100 years? When I started science in the early 70s, there was very little understanding about immunology of the host immunity. The only book that I had in the library that said the lymphocytes, and the book said lymphocytes are lymphocyte is an end cell. Because it's a small round cell, it has no cytoplasm. And today we know that we are here, we are living because the lymphocytes were there. I think with all that understanding of human disease and health, there's no reason that our lifespan will increase more in times to come, but we will take care of climate change. We have to take care of environmental pollutants and make sure that we can live a healthy life. It's not just living 100 years of age, living healthy 100 years of age. So with this, I want to end my talk, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come here.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening talk. As a token of our appreciation and gratitude, we would like to present a memento to our guests. May I request Professor Sunita Ratan ma'am, Dr. Chandradeep Tandon sir, and Dr. B.K. Murthy sir to present memento to our chief guest, Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President, International Affairs, INSA. We are delighted to have with us Dr. Raj Mehra from AIMS. I would like to request her to please join us on dais. Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPL DRDO. Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics, Information Technology, Government of India. Thank you, sir and ma'am. May I now request Dr. V. Pooja ma'am, HOI Biosciences and Biotechnology, Amity University, Noida, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pratibha. On this occasion of National Science Day, it is my immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, we all are immensely thankful to our respected Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, without whom none of us would be here. He is the guiding light between to what all of us do, and his vision is something we are propelled by to do great, not only in science but also in our lives. Our heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan for his continued motivation and support, and for providing us the infrastructure that we can utilize to do great in our scientific journey. We are extremely thankful to our respected Vice Chancellor, Madam, for her never-ending support and guidance. She is a pillar for all of us, and we are extremely thankful that she is there to guide us at every step of our lives. Our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. W. Selvamurthy, President ASTIF. Immense grateful to Dr. Chandradeep Tandon, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, Faculty of Biosciences and Biotechnology, for his encouragement. Thank you, sir, for being there at all steps. This event would not have been fulfilled if it was not for our guests who have graced us on this occasion. I'm very, very thankful on behalf of the entire organizing committee to Dr. Sheetal Garg, Scientist G, SSPL DRDO, Dr. Seema Khanna, Deputy Director General, NIC, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, and Dr. N.K. Mehra, Vice President, International Affairs, INSA. Dr. Mehra, we would take your suggestion, and looking at the immense knowledge that you have, we would definitely want you to come more and guide and mentor us, because I think we all are in need of a person like you to guide and mentor us, not only in research, but also in all spheres of our academic career. Thank you so much. This event would not have been possible without the support of Dr. Sunita Ratan, Dean Science and Technology. She was instrumental in coordinating and has worked tirelessly to bring this event together. We are extremely thankful, Dr. Ratan, for your coordination and for ensuring that we all come together on the same platform. My immense gratitude goes on to all deans, directors, students, PhD scholars, and definitely all the students who are seated here for your association, all the domains and domain heads who came together to ensure that today's National Science Day is celebrated. And this is just the start. It is only the inauguration ceremony. The event, as Honorable Vice Chancellor said, is going to be there for the entire day, which would be culminated by a great talk by Dr. Alok Bhattacharya, who would be joining us at 3:45 p.m. And I request all the students to be there and all the faculty members to be there to listen to this great scientist in the afternoon. My immense gratitude goes on further to all our supporting partners, our media, our IT team, Wing Commander Sharma and his team, the disciplinary committee, and everybody who has been instrumental to ensure that this inauguration session goes on without a glitch. Thank you so much for your support. A huge round of applause to all our eminent speakers and guests and everybody associated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request the esteemed guests, HOIs and HOD, to please proceed for high tea in the lounge outside. I request all of you to please remain seated for our next panel discussion on reshaping the world through AI. Thank you.